Democrats search for a way back to power, but is voting for Trump's budget and cozying up to right-wing provocateurs really the answer? Welcome to the No Spin Zone. Graphs Grievances starts right now. Locked out of power in Washington, the Democratic Party is now facing its lowest popularity in decades. The latest national polls show Democrats are in a deep hole. NBC News finding just 27% of registered voters have positive views of the party, its lowest rating since 1990. Similarly, CNN's most recent poll shows only 29% of Americans view Democrats favorably, a record low in their polling dating back to 1992. So there's no polling anomaly here. Americans are simply rejecting what the Democrats are offering. And let's be clear about something. When I say offering, I mean selling. Because that's what successful political parties do. They sell voters a vision of the future, a future that feels possible, one where voters can imagine a better life if they're in power. But don't get me wrong, this isn't about policies, though policies do matter. Some of the greatest political movements in history were light on specifics, but heavy on inspiration. Strong politicians make voters feel empowered. They don't just offer proposals, they offer a sense of hope. And right now, the Democratic Party is failing to do this. Yes, Democrats don't control the House, the Senate, the White House, or the increasingly partisan Supreme Court. But that doesn't mean they can't put up a fight against the Republican agenda. Remember, just a few months ago, Democrats controlled the White House and the Senate. During their time in power, many Democrats complained about how Republicans used the filibuster to block President Biden's agenda, especially on crucial issues like voting rights and reproductive rights. In fact, 36 Democratic senators even voted to abolish the filibuster, arguing it gave too much power to the minority party, the Republicans. But the filibuster survived thanks to Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, who opposed its elimination. They were publicly vilified by their own party. But now, with Democrats out of power, you'd think they'd seize every opportunity to use the filibuster to slow down Trump's agenda. But when the first real chance came last week for them to do that, they folded. In fact, 9 Democratic senators, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and one independent senator who caucuses with them, voted to advance a Republican-backed spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. And I'm not here to pile on Senator Schumer. He knows the backlash he's faced. He's even canceled his upcoming book tour to avoid the heat. But I bring this up because it's symbolic of the larger problem, a lack of resolve. Back in April 2017, NBC News found that 59% of Democrats wanted congressional Democrats to make compromises with Trump to gain consensus on legislation, while only 33% wanted Democratic lawmakers to stick to their positions even if it meant gridlock. Now, that sentiment has completely flipped. 65% of Democrats telling NBC News they want their leaders to hold firm to their positions, even if it means sacrificing bipartisan progress, while just 32% want their elected representatives to make legislative compromises with Trump. That's a dramatic change in perspective, and it highlights the growing frustration with compromising principles for some other goals. Democrats no longer want to be seen as compromising just for the sake of getting something done. They want leaders who will fight for what they believe in. Trump's base, despite everything he's done, twice impeached, lost the 2020 election, ransacked the Capitol, and convicted on 34 criminal charges, still sees him as their champion. He's projecting strength, and that's where Democrats are faltering. They're folding at the first sign of adversity. They've lost the ability to convey confidence. I don't think Trump is anything short of a criminal. He's a self-serving, narcissistic individual who only cares about his wealth and power. But here's the thing. Trump's brand of unwavering confidence resonates. It strikes a chord with millions of Americans, even if it's built on lies and hate. And right now, the Democrats seem like they can't even agree on basic principles or values. Americans may not like Trump as a person. They may not like his tariffs, but they believe he is fighting for them. The Democrats are still arguing over things like trans rights and DEI initiatives. Important issues, yes, but these debates matter little in the face of a united, forceful opposition. When your opponent is an election-denying, convicted criminal who threatens to never leave office again, opposing everything he does should be the easiest decision you make. A unified opposition is key. Remember when Trump was on trial in New York City a year ago? Every day, Republican lawmakers came up from D.C. to stand with him outside the courthouse and defend him. You may have thought they looked like fools. I sure did. But guess what? It worked. By wrapping themselves around Trump, they shielded him from looking like a washed-up ex-president facing criminal charges. So, is there any good news here? Yes. Democrats are way ahead of Trump when he lost the 2020 election. They haven't been impeached, their supporters didn't storm the Capitol, and they haven't been charged with crimes. But to truly win the hearts and minds of Americans, Democrats need to stand firm. They need to lock arms and fight for what they believe in, whether it's stopping Trump's agenda or pushing forward with their own. This is not about winning elections right now. It's about restoring confidence in the American people and showing them that there is a real, viable alternative to Trump. And to be blunt, Gavin Newsom cozying up to right-wing provocateurs, people like Steve Bannon and Charlie Kirk, who have no interest in good faith political dialogue, is not the way to Damascus. These figures operate in bad faith, looking to create division, spread misinformation, and undermine democracy. For Democrats to embrace or even engage with such figures sends the exact wrong message, that they're willing to compromise their principles for political gain. And that is precisely why Democrats are seen right now as weak. People want leaders who stand by their values, not those who cozy up to the enemies of democracy just for the sake of political expediency. Thank you for watching Graph's Grievances. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, share, and join me tomorrow for more.